Welcome to Contractor Cuts, where we cover the good, the bad, and the ugly of growing a successful contracting company.
Let's do this. It's already 11:45. Welcome to Contractor Cuts. My name is Clark Turner.
I'm James.
James. Welcome, James.
What did you want me to say?
I don't know. I thought you were going to do something funny, but...
I thought about it.
Yeah, that's okay. Next time, we'll do another podcast. All right. Well, today, we're talking about how to say no to customers. Being picky. And fruit. Customers and fruit. Those are really all we're talking about today. So, really, this podcast came about when we're talking through, like, when I look at issues of new contractors coming in, it's they say yes to every job, right? It's the more I can collect, the more I can say yes to, the more I'm doing good, right? The goal is get my phone to ring, get customers to say yes. That's my only job here. Now we got to get the work done, and that's going to happen in the background. And so what we want to coach you on is how to say no to those jobs. And there's really two different no's that we'll cover, right? No, I don't want to work with that person or do that job. And no, I don't have time or capacity right now. And so those are two different answers and two different directions we'll go. But really, we brought up a really good kind of metaphor a few months ago, talking about a fruit bowl. Why don't you rehash that metaphor again so we can kind of use it throughout this?
Sure, Clark.
Thanks.
Everything has a shelf life. We hope it does, because that means it's real. And so fruit, famously, goes bad.
That's true.
And it gets, apples get mealy brown spots, bananas similar.
Do avocados.
Avocados.
Yeah.
Avocados is the one that has the smallest window of opportunity from being a great meal to icky yuck. What contractors tend to do, I swear, is on airplane mode.
You're good.
So what contractors tend to do is pick all of the fruit, all the fruit available. Yes, absolutely. Okay, good. Yes. Yeah. Oh, I'll take that too. And they put it all in their bowl, and then they look at it and they say, I like this one. I'm going to take this orange because it looks the best, and I'm going to eat that. Oh, now I'm going to take this one and we'll do that one. Meanwhile, the rest of the fruit in the bowl is starting to get a little funky, starting to get a little mushy.
Yep.
And all that fruit is going bad. And in this case, we can just throw that fruit out or put it in the compost. But when you say it's your clients, you're putting a bad name out there.
Yeah.
You're hurting your reputation, and you're leaving a lot on the table.
Yeah. It's a guys that say yes to everything and gather all of that low-hanging fruit that's easy to grab. So I'm just going to get it all and put it all in my basket and figure out how to get all these estimates out the door.
It's a bowl, not a basket.
Sorry.
Yeah.
How do I get to all these? How do I eat all of this fruit? I'll figure that out later, right?
Yeah.
And so, I've coached guys that, they've got a couple months worth of work, they're doing great, and I sit down on a coaching call with them, and it's like, well, I've got 20 estimates that I haven't gotten back to yet, but like things are good. And I'm like, that's not good. That's not good. That's short-term good. That's long-term bad, because those are 20 people, 20 homeowners and 20 different properties that are having a really bad experience with you because you haven't come back. Well, I'm gonna get back to them. Well, how are you gonna get back to them? Well, I know one of them I'm gonna go out to the house on Monday next week, and then the other ones I gotta get back to and figure out.
Yeah.
If you're not going to the first one till next week, 3 months before you get to that 20th? Like what does that look like for you?
I think the first objection is, well, I don't owe them anything.
Yes.
And that's true.
Yeah.
You don't owe them anything. You haven't. There's been no exchange. You may have not even promised them anything.
Yeah.
But that doesn't change the fact that their perception of you is going to be colored by their only interaction with you, which is, we talked about it, and I haven't heard from them.
Yep.
So even if you do follow back up with them after a couple of weeks, you're already fighting back from, just like everybody else.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm waiting for a couple other guys that still haven't gotten back to me either. So you're now in this lump group.
Yeah. Then it's whoever's the lowest price is going to win, or the one guy that does follow up and give them good customer service is going to beat you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think one of the big things with that mindset is such a short-term mindset. It's like, okay, I've got a bunch of these. I'm going to figure out which one I can make the most money on and just kind of call those people back. And if they don't answer, I'll call the next row. And if they don't answer, then I'll call the last set of people. And
Or even worse, they take the fruit that they have the least experience with. Like, I've never had a pineapple. And then you got to figure out how to eat this thing.
But they said they want a $200,000 addition. So I'm going to figure out how to do additions.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
You might be allergic to pineapple.
Yes.
It might close up your throat.
You will choke this first time eating pineapple. Yeah.
I ate the top part. It was terrible.
Yeah. But that's what guys do. Like, some guys don't have that issue because they aren't good at marketing, or they don't have a big enough circle where they're getting those leads coming in. But it's one of those problems that are really, I don't have it, and because when I started my company, I didn't have a lot of work. And when your phone won't stop ringing, you're like, okay, great, I got to collect all this fruit, right? I've got to collect I got to say yes to everything, because for the last year of trying to get this going, I've worked hard to get my phone to ring, and now it's ringing. So I've got to say yes. I got to capture this, because next month my phone's not going to ring, right? And so guys are trying to say yes to every job. I'm going to get to you. Yeah, absolutely. Let's get an estimate. I can get that to you. And then they've got so many people to deal with. They can't do their work. They can't do their job. They can't get back to the ones that are hot leads that they already started with. And it turns into this cycle of losing those customers and also killing your name, right? So I've now got 20 people that are like, well, that's how Clark operates. I'm not going to call him again. And then their neighbor says, hey, do you know anyone that renovates homes? Yeah, don't call this guy. We tried him. He's never responded. You're getting the reputation of someone that is slow, doesn't respond well. And so if you choose this contractor to work with, that's what you can expect when the job starts.
Yeah, no respect for fruit.
No
respect for the life cycle of a fruit.
It's a great metaphor, James, and I love what you come up with. Mm-hmm. I think we can move on. I mean, it's up to you, though.
You can move on.
I will, for sure.
I'm still here. I'm still here in the fruit orchard.
Mike? No. So what we want to do is figure out, let's sort the fruit into different baskets.
I'll handle the fruit and its bowls.
We either want a yes, I can do it, but not right now, or a no, and this is why. And so what we want is yes jobs and no jobs. So let's sort out the no jobs. I'm going to go through, and when I'm answering the calls, it's not hey, can I get an estimate on my house? I'm looking to do some renovations. Absolutely. Send me your name and email, and I'll let you know when I can come out there. That's not the first call. Instead, it's yes. Tell me a little bit about this.
Let's role play.
Okay.
I'll be the client.
Okay.
Hey,
what's going on? How can I help you?
Well, I got a couple projects at my house that we need to get done.
Cool.
I need a toilet replaced.
Great.
There's a fan in the living room that's clicking.
Yeah.
And it's kind of wobbly.
Okay.
And then there's a bunch of random paint spots around the house that I'd like to get a quote on having them all fixed.
Absolutely. That's something that we would love to be able to do for you. So let me fill you in a little bit. We are a general contracting company. So with us, it sounds like what you need is a handyman. It sounds like you need like a day of handyman out at your house. I can do that for you with my crews, but you're going to be paying way more than hiring directly from a handyman. For us, doing that work is you're hiring a project manager to bring crews out to do the work for you. And what you're paying for is our service, our organization, being your advocate and taking care of your property for you, making sure all the crews do what they do. So like larger renovations, doing additions and kitchens and bathrooms, those type of places where I shine and really kind of save you the most money. So what you're looking for, I can do for sure for you, but I don't like to bid on jobs that I'm not going to be the best fit and the best price on for you. So if I were you, I would try and reach out to a handyman instead of a general contractor for just a small list of punch-out stuff like that.
Clark, I like the cut of your jib. I want to give you $1 million right now.
$1 million? Land the sale. What you got to do is fire that last salesman I talked to. So again, it's I'm trying to not say, honestly, like that's not big enough for my company.
Yeah.
every single conversation that I have with a customer, they are the main character in it.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm framing any sort of response around why it's best for them to not choose us, as opposed to, honestly, like, that's too small for us. We just do big jobs. Like,
I don't even like grapes.
Yeah. But if I'm framing it around, like, for you, like, I want to save you money and I only want to bid on your work that I can build value for. And so, like, I could do it for you, but it's going to cost twice as much using a general contractor.
I'm going to gouge you.
Yes.
Can I be straight? I'm going to gouge you.
Like, legit, like, what you pay for with a general contractor is the management, organization, and making sure that the job gets done and bringing all the crews to do it. So when you're doing multi-trade things where we're doing paint and electrical and flooring and multiple things in a property, that's where our best value is, and we're the best bang for your buck that you're going to get.
Yeah.
If it's a one-off trade, if you're looking to paint one bedroom, I can do it for you, but it's going to cost because you've got a manager and the guy painting it. If you call a paint company, they'll send a painter out, and they'll be able to do it for you at probably half of what I can do because it's a small job that they're built for.
Yeah.
And so if you explain it around saving them money, trying to protect my reputation, I don't want to be the highest bid that gives a sour taste in your mouth about my company, and frame it around that customer, that's them saying, "Oh, thank you for redirecting me. I definitely will keep your number for the future."
Yeah, and you dropped the little Easter egg about here's where we do well, and
Yes.
so they appreciated the candor.
Yep.
And so whether they're doing a project or their mom or their brother, their neighbors doing a larger project, oh, I had this guy that was really forthcoming with their abilities and what would be the most effective use of our money. So maybe you should try him.
Yeah, I think this takes some skill and practice. I think having this conversation, try it with your wife of why it's better for her to do the dishes than you tonight, right? Like, try and reframe the sales pitch.
Yeah, try it.
on saying no to doing something. But legit, that is the best way to say no. This is why it's not best for you. They don't care about what's good for me. They don't. They are the client. I am the service person. I'm serving them, and so it's not a matter of that's inconvenient for me or that's way outside of my. I don't really want to do it. That's too small. That sort of thing is like, well, this guy's rude. I called you. Your website says you do that type of work. Like that, are you false advertising? Right? To where we're getting down to hurting our reputation and not landing a client. Right?
Yeah.
I think we talked about it.
That's a twofer.
It's a twofer. We talked about like we had a negative review a number of years ago because of that conversation was done wrong, and it's still on our Google somewhere, I'm sure. But it will harm you by doing it the wrong way, by framing it around honestly, like, that's too small for us. We're big boys, right? Like,
Big boys.
people are like, I don't care. Like, what?
I'm a big boy. I don't need that. Icky.
So again, that's how we say no. If it's not a job that fits in my wheelhouse, I'm not telling them this doesn't fit in my wheelhouse. I'm telling them why it's better for them to choose me for something else. It's like if they called a plumber when their lights aren't working, right? Like, if you call a plumber and they're like, "Hey, I need my lights changed," like, "Oh, no, sorry, you need to call an electrician for that. Like, we're plumbers, we do this. If you need plumbing work, I can do it." As opposed to saying, "Yes, let me put you on my schedule for an estimate."
Yeah.
And then never getting back because it's not in my wheelhouse.
And then they're like, "Why haven't you come out?" You're like, "Well, I'm not even an electrician."
Then why did you say yes?
Because you're the client. The client's always right.
I mean, it's funny, but it's
funny.
It's happened.
But that's because it's funny because it's true.
Yes. So that's how we say no. If I'm picking a job that I don't want, and I think this gets a little tricky further down the road when I go do an estimate and the client's unrealistic with their price. Seems like the customer that is going to be the absolute biggest problem throughout. Like, we can kind of forecast when you've been doing it long enough. Like, oh, I see how the final walk's going to go with this lady.
Yeah, you come in and they're like, "Yeah, these are all the paint spots that we want done."
Yep.
I just like the guys that did this just obviously were either drunk or like this is their first time they've painted a house. And I've had a contractor before and they were just, they never showed up. They always were talking about, invoices.
I can't get someone to do it right. You're my third contractor to come in, right? And it's like the last two guys wouldn't even send me emails back, right? when we start sniffing those customers out up front, we're not going to ghost them. We're not going to just say, hey, we can't do it. I'm going to do two things. One, like, hey, listen, I am trying, and I think that's where we got the negative review on someone like this. But what I say to that person is, listen, I want to be honest with every customer that I have. I would rather say no to a job and lose money than say yes and give you a bad experience. And we are booked right now. And so if I said yes to this job, I don't know where I'll fit you in our schedule. And I'd rather save my reputation than say yes and get your money.
Yeah.
That one sentence, I'd rather save my reputation than say yes and get your money. So I feel like I should like bow out of the bidding process. And I'm sure you've got other contractors that you're talking to, but I would rather say no and lose money than say yes, take your money, and not be able to give you the service that I know that our company does.
Subtext, I'd rather suck on a hot coal.
Yes. Yeah. But again, we don't have to lie. We don't have to make excuses. It's just like, hey, I don't know if I like for what you need and the timetable that you're on. Like, well, I don't need it for the next year. We're booked.
We're so booked.
But again, it's like, hey, if you need it in a year, why don't we circle back then? And I might have more time. Why don't you give me a call when you start thinking about this again? And I make a note in the software of this is how the client acted and this is what happened or whatever it is. So I am making it about them, about like, I want to protect my reputation, and that means I got to protect your money. And you picking us right now would not do that. And I want to make sure that I my reputation is the most important thing to me, and I can't screw people. So if you give me a deposit and I can't get to the job for 3 months, I'm not okay with that. So I don't want to move forward yet, and we're not really taking on any more work right now. I'm sorry we've wasted your time with an estimate that we did, and wasted our time too, but it wasn't a waste. Hopefully we can work together in the future, right? Something to where I am trying to frame it around them, because that's what they're going to hear. That's what, especially those crazy clients, don't care about you. They care about what is serving them. Mm-hmm. So that's how I'm framing those once we get into it. I'm not ghosting them either, because those are the people that write you negative reviews. Those are the people that trash your name. And if we do get in bed with one of those type of clients, if we can service them well, I mean, we've said this multiple times, and we could probably go through and name the customers.
Let's do it. That'd be fun.
If we can impress that customer, everybody in their circle knows that they're that way. And if our company impressed that person, that's who I want to use, right? And that's how we put a sign in the front yard, and their neighbors are like, "Oh, you made the Wilsons happy? I'm going to call you," right? Yeah. Because if we've set up our systems and processes to handle the hardest clients, the not hard clients are super easy inside of our processes, right? So that's the way we want to frame it. That's the way we want to look at it, and that's how we say no. Also, if I'm too full, I've got those 20 estimates that are waiting for me, and I just don't have time to get to them all. One thing that we want to change, desk estimates. Now, I had one of my coaching clients like, well, I just do a bunch of hardscapes and small jobs, so I don't have the ability to do a full desk estimate and then do a Zoom and then sit through a 2-hour CEA. Like, it's a $1,200. We're going to lay some sod somewhere.
Yeah.
Absolutely, not a problem. The desk estimate is secondarily helping you prep for the on-site and get an understanding of the job. So what we're going to do when I've got 20 leads coming in and they're all for small jobs, I'm going to say, hey, listen, let's have a phone call. I'd love to chat with you, hear about what you're looking to get done, and kind of let you know where we can fit you on the schedule. I'm on the phone with the person. They're like, hey, I need about 11 square feet of sod laid, and then maybe three bales of pine straw put down, right? I'm like, okay, absolutely, we can get to you for that. Our range for doing something like that is just going to be a day trip charge. We're at $400 for our crew to drive out there and do that. I don't know if that's in your price range. If it is, let's have that conversation. And then say, yeah, that's kind of what I was expecting. Great. Well, let me do this. We are booked out currently for 3 weeks. I'm going to put a note in my system that in 3 weeks from now, I'm going to call you and try to get you on the schedule. If you can wait that long, I'll follow up with you in 3 weeks. If you can't, I totally get it if you're going a different way. Do you have time to wait, or is this something that you need immediately?
Yeah.
And if they need it immediately, say, okay, then I would, again, like we're saying no, I'd rather say no to this than say yes and not be able to service you and harm my current clients by trying to pull crews from their houses. So if you can't wait, no problem. Now, it might be a $400 job, but it's a schedule filler later on down the road, right? I can squeeze it in when I got a down crew and make a couple $100, pay the crew, everyone's happy. no problem. I'm going to push that down the road. I'm going to do it. I'm going to call them in 3 weeks. I'm going to set it up. I'm going to put on my schedule and fit them in at that time. I haven't driven out there. I haven't looked at it. I'm not just hopping in my truck and going to an estimate. I'm assessing it. I'm giving a roundabout price. I'm figuring out what their timeline and getting it done, as well as a close price. And then if it's a bigger job, if it's, hey, we're looking to do a deck. Well, I'm at full capacity right now. If you send me some photos, kind of like what you're looking, some dream photos of what you're looking to do, and kind of the square footage of what your current deck is, are we taking it down, putting a new one in the spot, or we're just resurfacing it? Like, what do you want to do on the deck? And get 5 minutes of information from them. I can give them a roundabout number and a roundabout time when I can get out there. Say, hey, that deck, I've done one similar to that. We're looking anywhere from 10,000 to 25, depending on how eccentric you want it, like how deep and detailed it's going to get, what finishes we're going to use. So we can be in that range. Is that in your price range? Is that kind of, there's a lot of variance in that. If so, let's schedule for 3 weeks from now for me to come out there. And I'm building out my calendar because I'm organized. I've got my calendar built to where I know I've got openings. And so I know that I do estimates on Wednesdays and Thursdays, right? Monday, I'm walking my jobs. Tuesday, I'm in the office. Wednesday, Thursday are estimate days. Friday, I'm back in the office. So 3 weeks from now, I've got you scheduled for Wednesday at 8 a.m. Great, right? So then fast forward 3 weeks, that Tuesday is my office day. I'm going through all my appointments for the week, sending an email, hey, we'll see you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. We're going to check out that deck because I've logged it in my software. I've got it all organized. And I've set it and forget it. For my next client, this is on my schedule. I don't have to think about it again. So those 20 people now, I've got listed out over the next 6 weeks to do site visits because I've talked to them and verified that this is someone that is worth a site visit, right? And when you're doing that with 20 leads, it ends up being 15 leads because 5 of them are not going to wait for you or is not really in your wheelhouse of what you want to do. And so now we're not wasting time. Now we've got everyone scheduled. But now you got to deliver. Now you got to actually go do those estimates and show up.
Would you say that the proactive communication and the desk estimate, that whole thing, kind of preserves the fruit?
I think it's your refrigerator.
That's exactly where I was going with this. So it's like a refrigerator for
the entire
fruit.
time on my monologue I just gave, were you thinking fruit?
Yes.
The entire time.
Yes. Now Clark, yes. Now you understand me.
It's a deep freezer. We're saving it to where we can thaw it out later.
You lost me now.
You can't deep freeze fruit.
No.
All right. Well, here, I'll stick with your metaphor. It is a refrigerator. So in 3 weeks, if I then try to push them for another 3 weeks, you're probably losing it. So you've only got a small time frame to get back to them.
Perfect.
And so I can put it in the refrigerator, buy me some extra time, but I can't pull it out and say, back in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Because then it's going to go bad at that time. So
yes.
You're welcome.
Yes.
So that being said, that is the yes, but not right now. If I'm going to say yes, but I'm fully booked, you will be surprised when you say, hey, can I get to an estimate in 3 weeks, or is this something you need done today?
No, that's perfect.
Oh, okay. We're
going on a trip next week.
Perfect. Let's do that, right? And so normally guys are like, they called me, they want me to get out there today. No. If that's the case, you don't have capacity to say yes to the job anyways because they want to start the work that quickly.
Yeah.
So I think it's a matter of expanding the front end conversation from 10 seconds of getting their address and telling them you're going to try to figure out a time to get there to tell me more about the job. Let me take some notes. Let me put in my software, start you a job card, get some information from you, and then set up when I'm going to call you again. I do that on the call. I pull up my iPad. I set the job up. I literally don't have to think about it again because I've put it on my calendar and I've put a next client contact in the software as to when I'm going to contact them. I don't have to think about it. I don't forget about it because it's all there in writing and I'm operating that way. So that is how we say yes to a job, but not now. Yes, we can do this. Let's fill up the calendar. Let's build that pipeline of work coming in to do it. I think doing that and changing your rhetoric, the way you say things so people can hear it better, the rhetoric of I'm framing this around giving you the best service, not around I'm too busy for you. Same statement lands totally different on their ears.
Yeah.
Right? Of like, I'm slammed right now. I don't know when I can get to this. Versus, absolutely, like, I don't want to take up your time. Are you able to do this in 3 weeks? Because I've got a really busy schedule and I want to make sure that I can service you. Can we wait 3 weeks, or is this kind of a pressing thing? If it's a pressing thing, great. I probably can't get to it for you. I'd love to have the opportunity to bid the next thing you have come up, but we're just in this random season where we're slammed this month. Mm-hmm. Awesome. No problem. We're great. We'll call you back. So, all right. Last thing about this, managing your calendar. I'm going to put one note in here that I want to add. When you are setting up that estimate, let's say we're doing renovations and I book someone out for next week to go to do an estimate for them. The way that we get back to that person is I've got a 3-hour block on Tuesday to drive out there, walk around the property, and drive back. I'm going to put a 2-hour block, a 1-hour block, a 30-minute block, a 3-hour block, depending on the size of the job, on Friday, on Wednesday, on Thursday, or whenever day I'm going to be in the office to write the estimate. So every estimate that comes in gets 2 time blocks on your calendar. One to visit the site, one to write it up. Now, if you're doing a desk estimate, it's one for the desk estimate, and then we're also going to figure out when we're going to do a Zoom to present the desk estimate to them. But think through how you're committing your time, because we have the best intentions and not enough time to do them all. So let's have 2 time blocks on every calendar. When I'm doing the estimate, the on-site or the desk estimate, and when I'm actually going to write it and present it back to you. Those are 2 separate time blocks, and most guys just do the first one, and then they're sitting in their bed at 11 o'clock at night trying to churn out estimates, missing line items, not giving descriptions, and losing money on the job. That's it. Say no. Don't be scared to say no. Be picky, but be kind. Save your reputation, and say yes to the jobs that are in your wheelhouse, and say no the right way to the jobs that you don't want to do.
And refrigerate your fruit, people.
Refrigerate your fruit.
Refrigerate your fruit. That's hard to say.
That is. And by the end of the year, you'll have a fruit smoothie. What? All right. Thanks for listening. If you want help with this, if you want to talk, go to ProStruct360.com. The Contact Us has a link to my calendar. I'd love to have a 30-minute conversation for free with you, hear about your company, what you're doing, see if there's anything we can help you with. If not, I'd love to chat. So ProStruct360.com. See you all next week.
Bye.